from Inglewood. You got people everywhere that bleed this shit. They ain't really with the Hollywoodness. I'm telling you right now. It's a lot of people who don't play like that. So when you're doing your little games with your rappers and you're running off at the mile and you're joking them and all that, don't joke my city. I'm telling you that right now. Just don't joke the city, boss. Don't joke the city. We ain't no jokes. That shit you see, we are not South Beach.
Oh shit.
What you see over there on South Beach, that's them over there. People down here bleed this shit. Don't joke the city. So I'm just gonna leave that like that. But for the most part, people, as an elder statesman that has seen two of my good friends, Biggie and Pac, die senselessly, and it wasn't by them pulling the trigger on them, each other, it was the people that surround them. I would hope that you two gentlemen get your shit together. Mr. Drake and Mr. Ross, because I don't want this to end like that. It shouldn't end like that. I'm going to be the elder statesman of it all. You don't want that. I leave it like that. Y'all can cut this motherfucker up however y'all want to cut it up, but I said it and I stand firm on it. Y'all have a nice night.
Interesting. Real quick, I just seen this pop up. I wanted to react to. They said Joe Budden debates Drake comeback strategy after Not Like Us. He did this. I think this is a podcast called Bag Fuel. Let me hear what Joe said.
The whole thing was magical, amazing, and I'm like, this guy Drake is gonna go on a revenge tour, because that was a moment. I don't know what it was for you watching Russell Westbrook crip walk with Bloods having a flag. I'm like, this is insane, especially if you've never been to LA.
No disrespect.
Better than Joe.
I'm going to Joe's part. No disrespect.
Because we don't know the
anything
answer.
that I say is going.
It's gonna go crazy. You know what?
Yeah, it's gonna go crazy. And anytime this topic comes up like that, his fan base. Oh my god!
It's just getting, but it's getting big. I thought it was gonna get squashed. I thought it was gonna die down.
If I were him, I'll do that instead of putting me into it, because I've never
that capacity.
That. Okay. So I have to imagine, and in imagining, I'm either gonna do what Esso said and get low. I think that there's value in silence, and or I'm making sure that my next record or my next two records or my next mixtape or
next
EP
album is,
or my next anything is undeniable
fire. Yeah.
I'm not going to see, and this is where I caught a lot of flack for being one of the niggas that say, hey man, I feel you, but this is the problem. I heard somebody say it on social media. I wish I could shout them out. We're all a fan of Drake. There are just so many different Drakes that which one are you a fan of? So I'm a fan of
Timestamp Drake?
Old. When I say old, I'm saying Scorpion and before.
Okay.
I'm giving him the grace and saying Scorpion. But yeah, fucking comeback season, So Far Gone, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, Views, If You're Reading This It's Too Late, and Scorpion.
Yeah.
That's my Drake.
Okay.
Everything after that, I don't stand. I don't co-sign.
You got dancehall Drake.
But that's
R&B
on my.
Drake.
That's in all of them Drakes.
That's in the beginning.
I love all that shit. I ride for that nigga like no other. It's documented on.
all day.
But I saw changes, and I heard changes.
But is that him trying to stay current?
I wouldn't know. I can't.
It could be writers.
By the way, that's after Scorpion we get CLB. So that's CLB, Honestly Nevermind, Her Loss, and For All the Dogs. That's 4 projects.
Tired of that. I don't want to hear that shit no more.
But the writers are current.
Current.
You don't think that matters?
Dark Lane Demos, I believe, also comes afterwards. So that's 5, right? Dark Lane Demos 2019, 2020 CLB, 2021 Honestly Nevermind, 2021 still we're at, or no, it's 2022 her loss. 2023 For All the Dogs. Am I right? More Life is 2016. That's 2017. That's before Scorpion. Scorpion is 2018. Scorpion is where we get God's Plan, In Your Feelings. It's a double disc. We get Jaded, one of my favorite R&B records. We get Ratchet Happy Birthday, Mob Ties. We get Nonstop, Survival. Just a fucking phenomenal record. I'm never gonna lie. Like, Scorpion is a classic, 100%. I've been trying to tell y'all this for a long time. If we go down the list, Scorpion is, Scorpion is a complete fucking classic. Like, I'm telling you, there's too many great records on here. I know people feel like it was inflated because it was a double disc, but come on now, like, half of these songs, they've aged really well. In My Feelings, Blue Tint, That's How You Feel, Ratchet Happy Birthday, Finesse, So Fire, Nice for What, Jaded, Summer Games, Peak. Oh my God, Peak is so fucking amazing. Peak, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm never really that big of a fan of the tracks he got with Jay-Z, but you got Talk Up. This is on the first. This is a rap side. Can't Take a Joke, Sandra's Rose, Mob Ties, 8 out of 10. I'm Upset, God's Plan, Emotionless, Elevate, Nonstop, Survival. Classic album, bro. I'm sorry to tell you, classic album. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The only thing I'll ever say about Scorpion, I think it's a classic double album, and it's his only double album. I think this would be on the short list of best albums ever if you shorten. This is about 25 tracks, I believe. 12 and what was this? 13. Yeah, 25 tracks. If you put this down to 14, and I could curate 14 tracks for this, this is one of the best albums of all time on a short list. I think top 10 of all time. Facts. That's how good I think Scorpion is. Some people feel like it's a little bloated. I still think it's classic. There's too much good shit on side A and side B. If we get it to 14, 15 tracks instead of 25, one of the best albums of all time. You don't have to agree, but that's just how I feel. Like some of these records, like to keep it real, he starts off with the first 9, no misses. Like all these, straight heat, right? Now, granted, all right, well, say we take off Sandra's Rose, even though that's fire, but I'm putting, from the second half, I'm putting Peak, Jaded, Nice for What, and In My Feelings. So Peak, Jaded, Nice for What, In My Feelings. I guess we should probably put March 14th too, because it's a good outro track and explain where he was in his life. That's 5 tracks, and let's just take 10 from the first side. So let's take the first 9 of these. And the first 9 of these, let's just take the one with Jay-Z just because I guess it's Jay-Z, right? So right here, 1 to 9, Talk Up, Peak, Jaded, Nice for What, even though Finesse is so fire, Jesus Christ, In My Feelings, and either Finesse or March 14th. You do that, that's a all-time classic album by Drake, because it would be just so many fucking singles too. Like all these songs is rock. Okay, all right. Anyway, let me just finish listening to this. By the way, after this, we are going to, what are we looking at? We're going to the Adam 22 Pop Smoke thing. Let's just finish off with Joe giving his opinion. I'll react to this.
Or that's okay.
I think that is a decision made. It can't be that, because Kendrick just showed you that you could stand on integrity and culture and be current. Drake also has shown you that he's so big now, he's like LeBron. Whatever he wants to be current is going to be current. So that's a decision that you're making to appeal to, I don't want to say the world because that's dope, but a younger demo as a 37-year-old.
That's true.
And that's fly because it's worked for your, whatever your plan is. But just know that the culture niggas is like, back to the Mos Def shit. The shit that Mos Def said. There's so many SKUs. It's just Target. It's like Disney World.
Comes off as hate, right? It's just to the people.
Maybe.
To the people. I'm just saying
but
to the other people.
But there's an intersection now where if you're talking to a Drake fan, that don't mean you're talking to a hip hop fan. You're talking to a fan of him. One of one.
Like a LeBron.
Yes. Yes.
Speaking of which,
Yes.
Like a LeBron.
that's another thing too.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
LeBron.
Some people transcend
Past that.
the sport.
Yes.
But LeBron being there bopping.
I love when somebody's about to be messy and you stop it. And you say something. You say, no, let him go. Let him go here. I love when you do that. First of all, what does culture mean? That's for viewers to answer on their own. I think there's a loaded conversation to be had there because the shit that we keep running around.
Now, this is one of the things that is one of the it's a prevailing themes that's gonna be in this whole Drake Kendrick battle, and I think we have to acknowledge it. One of the reasons why this battle looks the way it does is because of culture, and I do believe there's a large swath of Drake fans that don't ever have to care about culture, right? They're like, well, we don't care about all that fucking goofy ass foot movement and all them gang banging shit. Like Drake makes the bops, and that's true. But we do realize that no matter what, hip hop is still determined. Hip hop, I always say, I've said this a million times. Whatever popular dance you see on TikTok was started from some nigga in the hood or some person within culture. They started, and then the rest of the world take it and just kind of commercialize it. And I think this is what that battle forced us to kind of also think about, because even now we're like confused. We're like, damn, why is Kendrick getting so much love? Well, he's united culture to go against Drake. He's united culture to go against Drake because he's made Drake look anti-culture. Now, to the person who's a Drake fan who doesn't care about culture, they're like, but Drake got the most streams. But Drake got this. But Drake is that. How can we say? You're also right. But you do realize that even Drake knows this. The reason why he has so much great synergy with people like Future and others, and he had really great associations, is that represented that he understood what culture was. Because Drake could have just hung out with the pop stars, Justin Bieber, The Weeknd, and Taylor Swift. He could have just made it like, all right, I know how to rap, but I'm just gonna hang out with them. But those ain't the people who are gonna really get you that cultural love that is needed. You're gonna have to go tap in with a nigga from Memphis named Block Boy JB. Yeah, you are gonna have to tap in with a nigga from California named motherfucking YG. You are gonna again, those were cultural moves that I think adjacent. Drake was definitely seen as cultural by him paying ode or respect to certain places, whether it's within the sound. All right, he'll do Atlanta sound or like a West Coast sound, or by being adjacent to their own artists. So that's always been the thing. Now it just looked like Kendrick framed it in a way where all of that, which has always been dope. We always said what Drake was doing is dope. Now it looks like you're culture vulturing, you know what I mean? And it puts him in, again, that proverbial cage, as I said. Let Joe keep rocking.
I'm saying culture is none of us own. So why is that ours? So if we put that to the side, that consumerism shit, and get into culture, which is where Kendrick was shifting his conversation. How do you dress? Who's your barber? Like, are you a good dad? Fucking, how can you dance? Your slaps? What's your hood? Did you have a nickname growing up? Like, shit like that is what Kendrick was leaning into. And those people, I believe, created hip hop.
Got you.
Now, we evolve, and people that were watching that want in on that. If you watching that, that look like some fly shit to be around.
Yeah, amazing.
I think there are many people, this shit's so big now, it's a fact. People watched that and wanted some of that. I'm not gonna put that on Drake, because I don't know him that well. But the buying up all of the hip hop memorabilia,
The Tupac ring and all that shit.
even if that's not your intent, you gotta know how that comes off. The Cam Pink Dipset shit at the...
I'm gonna be honest, I actually disagree with what he's saying here. I always thought that came off like Drake Drake couldn't be a culture vulture because he was such a student and he cared so much about culture. Like the niggas paid millions for Pharrell jewelry because he wanted to have a piece of history. Someone who's a culture vulture wouldn't value history and wouldn't value these really like ancient but historic type pieces. Like you wouldn't care about the Dipset jacket if you didn't feel or understand the impact of when Cam was rocking that pink jacket, just like going crazy. So I disagree with Joe on this part. Like I really think that Drake's attention to detail and also him owning Pusha T's mic, I think that's been him like, no, I really love this shit. That's him showing, you know what I mean? Yo, I want to have all this because not only do I feel like I'm part of it, I've been where I'm at now, and even me getting to the point of being considered one of the best is me being encouraged by all these people. So I never thought that was like, oh, that looks like you're culture vulturing. I don't think so at all.
The Apollo, even if that's not your intent, you got to know how it comes off. The fucking going.
Somebody says, well, then he turns around and says, melted those chains. Yeah, he's beefing with the guy, my nigga. Like he doesn't like Pharrell. They're beefing. So yeah, he bought it because he had admiration, but then he gets into it, and because of the circumstances, he melts it down. Well, he didn't really even melt it down because you've seen it in the Family Matters video. He just said he melted it down. So again, just like the what's the name of that shit? Just like the mic with Pusha T, he said, yo, the signature faded. No, it didn't. But he's gonna say because he's trying to slight the other nigga. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I don't take him owning pieces or important pieces of hip hop history as him culture vulture. And I think that kind of means that's how dedicated and how much this shit has inspired him for him to get to the position he's at. We could disagree though, if you don't think so.
When the Atlanta get the slang from them, like I've never been around Drake and Kendrick. Shit, I hardly even been around either of them niggas. Mm-hmm. But to hear Kendrick say, "You running 21, you get your lean, and you go see him when you want to get your hand." It's like, oh, you noticed that too? Because I noticed that. I get what you're trying to say. And you probably the only person that could say it. And it be effective or impactful. So when you say, do we think he cares about this stuff? I mean, I won't answer it, but
I will. I say yes.
Maybe. Okay.
Maybe. These niggas was running around buying fucking, oh, this episode is out of here. I'm just hearing myself. This episode is, God, I'm in so much trouble. It's fine. It's okay. Mr. fucking Messy Boots, they got me. But you know why he's doing it?
Because honestly, because we're not doing it on purpose.
Yeah, no, we just talking.
We just having a conversation, so that's why I understand. If we was like, yo, my nigga, you think?
Okay.
Broader than this fucking Kendrick talk is in culture and entertainment. You should be wary of inauthentic relationships. That's what I'm saying. And
wait, let me.
Broader than this fucking Drake.
What am I missing? Like, why are you doing this?
Are they
shit?
together?
The point of what I'm saying is broader than this fucking Kendrick talk is in culture and entertainment. You should be wary of inauthentic relationships. That's what I'm saying. And shit, even that's back to the mentorship shit we were saying earlier. In this business, it's just a lot of inauthentic relationships. And if you've been around.
Now, he's making a point, and it's kind of ironic. So, I've been, I'm one of those people like, sometimes I feel like I might need a vacation or something because like, I'm like too much involved in trying to, figure out exactly like, I'm obsessed and not about an artist. I'm just obsessed about always finding out all information about anything I'm covering. And, and just even trying to like poke around and just kind of call around. And I'm like, yo, damn. but why does things look like this? Why is this person not? And that's one thing I've heard. I heard that, and that backs up what Joe is saying. Like, I've mentioned certain people. I'm like, but what about that person? Like, yo, they look like they were friends. They were like, no, Drake had a lot of inauthentic relationships. A lot of them niggas who you see are either on the other side or very quiet. They were never Drake friends. And I was like, huh? It's like, yeah, they were never friends with Drake to begin with. It looked like they were friends to the public because Drake does what Drake does. He'll love bomb somebody. Yo, this guy's the best. I love working with him. He's the greatest. He's the most amazing. He'll bring him on stage and just give him 55 compliments. You're like, oh, they gotta be gang. No. That was a transactional relationship and a transactional friendship that only existed at that time. And probably, whether that artist, sometimes these artists get hot and cold. Maybe that, Drake's been hot this whole time, but maybe they got cold and then they probably realized the nature of the relationship. Oh yeah, Drake really didn't fuck with me because he don't fuck with me now. And all of that kind of comes back around. And no matter who we're saying, you get to realize a lot of those constant themes. Like, and me trying to poke around like, man, what's up with this guy? And I feel like supposedly that's all of their sides. Oh, all right. Well, yeah, nigga, I thought we was locked in, but this shit was just business. So, all right, it's just business. Now you going through your shit. It's just business. Some people are like, I'm going to just stay out of it. Or some people are like, well, right now, business-wise, it's good for me to be over here. So it is what it is. It's business, right? And it's kind of interesting because I think sometimes us fans are fooled that these relationships that these artists seem to promote, we think they're really authentic. They'll tell us, that's my twin. That's my brother. That is, they'll almost look like they're having sex with some of these women. Like, we like, all right, this got to be real. Like, regular people don't placate as much as they do. You wouldn't do that or do the most to seem cool with someone, but apparently it's just part of the game. And from what I heard, and it's not to really Drake's fault. I just think that's the nature of kind of the business. Niggas really ain't friends. You know what I mean? Like, I just said it. Like, niggas ain't friends. Like, no matter who you see Drake in the club with, they're dapping it up and they post each other in the gram, my twin. We've seen them with 1 million people. Probably 90% of those, they're not friends. Right?
Around long enough, when you're looking, you can spot them. That's how it comes about, all of that fucking, I fuck your girl, I fuck your wife, all that shit you were saying earlier, that comes from
inauthenticity.
And just an authentic relationship. So that's that on that. I don't want to beat a dead horse.
Nah, yeah.
Okay. Alrighty then. Good. I think this is a podcast bag fuel. Anyway. All right. I think we've done a pretty decent job in kind of like figuring out all of that. All right. Now, chat, I want to issue a big trigger warning. I'm like conflicted with kind of like dealing with this. Let me ask y'all, because maybe, I don't have to show the footage. So here's the thing. Number one, in the media space, we're all different. I'm different from Adam. I'm different from Vlad. I'm different from Sean Cotton. There's certain things that maybe I would do, they wouldn't do. There's certain things they would do, I wouldn't do. I don't judge them, and I try not to judge them because of these things, because I realize we're all running the business, and I realize we also have different perspectives. Like, I'm not going to hate some, like, I've realized, like, don't beef with the top tier media guys. Now, the rest of y'all little peons, I shit on y'all. But I've learned that we're all pushing forward some independent media shit, and I try not to, like even years ago when me and Adam got into it, obviously I cared about what the fuck I was upset about, but I'm glad that we kind of was able to cut that out because we're pushing the same line. Like, when I win, it helps Adam. If Adam wins, it helps me. It does, right? We're pushing the independent media line. Okay, anyway, the point is this. The Pop Smoke killer who did an interview with Adam, it's not something that I kind of love. I don't like it at all, actually. I'm actually even more disinterested because I'm hearing that he possibly was paid. However, I can't be a hypocrite and say I'm not also intrigued by the information that I've wondered about for a long time. What the fuck really happened? How the fuck four dudes get into a house? They knew the exact door to hit. They knew the exact time the person, Pop Smoke, the guy who had the money, was the most lacking. They went through the right door, the right time. He's the only one who got shot. Nobody else got shot. And that has been like one of those things that kind of it plagues you in terms of questioning. Now, sometimes we get all those details seemingly in the court process. Like, for example, with X, I think we got all the information that we would ever need to hear through the court process. Like, through, obviously there was a cooperant there, and he spelled out the whole thing, but the detectives told us what they found out, this and third, and brought a lot of people on the stand. There's no question that we would have or need to have for the guys who killed X. But in this Pop Smoke thing, it was always interesting because apparently half of the people who ran into that house were minors. And because they were minors, we didn't hear too much about the case or know their identities. So we're left speculating on what happened. Did he get backdoored? Did a girl set him up? Is it because he had a party at the crib? Did he post the fucking thing at the door that showed he post like some shit that showed the address of where they were staying? How did they know? Was it a hit from somebody from New York? We hear that like after he got shot, the first 911 call came from New York. It's all type of shit we've been. So really, there is some intrigue in just trying to find the truth, and finding the truth to a lot of these situations is a path to,
Man, Drake is just Drake. Like, it's hard for me to say anything but that Drake is just Drake, literally. Like, I agree completely with what X says about Drake. But, like, this thing with Drake, people are going to hate on Drake regardless of anything. Regardless of what Drake does or any single situation, Drake is going to receive hate. Like, if Drake posted with like his black side, his family, like his father's side, he gets hate. He posts with his mother, oh, it's a white boy. His son is like in was it Family Matters or something? Like two light skinned kids, that shit would be cute when he was talking about his son and Kendrick's son should play. Like is Drake, quick question, do we consider Drake's son light skinned? So his mother is white and Drake is black and white. So what is that? 100, that's like, so 25% black and 75% white. And I don't know if Drake's really 50% black completely. I mean, Drake's black. Obviously, we're going to call him black, but you feel me? Like, let's just call it 50-50. So he's 25% black, and you feel me? White hair. I mean, white, blonde hair, like blue or green eyes or gray eyes or something. Like, that boy is like a full on, like, genuine, literal white boy. Which, it's nothing wrong with it. Like, he got his hair from like his grandmother. And you feel me? It's nothing wrong with it. But hey, man, they're gonna, you feel me? What's his name is gonna get hate regardless of what happens or what he does. So, hey, bro, just hope and wish for the best. It's your boy Big X News, though. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I am out.